Hey everybody, I want to introduce you to someone with Aroma Hut. This is Mocha, our Aroma cat. Say hey. He runs when I get the oils out. He does like lavender and he needs it because he's been a psycho cat lately. But anyway, we're going to make some perfumes today, so stay tuned. Everybody, this is Rebecca TOTILO with aromahut.org, and today we're going to make 3 more roller blends. We are going to be making perfume oils. Again, I'm going to be using the coconut fractionated oil because it's clear, unscented, it's cheap. Hey, why not? You could use alcohol if you prefer, but since we're doing roller blends, I feel like it's easier to use this kind of oil. And if you have something different, go ahead and try it. The ones I want to do today, we are going to be making unisex blends, meaning they could go for male or female. And I tend to hope that these will be more for my sons. I was hoping to get one of them to help me on this program, but he's refusing to get on camera. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with our first one. We're going to be using lime as our top note. We're going to be using FENNEL as our middle note and patchouli as our base note. Doesn't that sound good? So let's go ahead and start with our base note with 2 drops. And this is a thick oil, so we got to shake it out a little bit. I feel like I got a good drop there. So I added an extra one there. And let's go ahead and do our FENNEL. We're going to add 2 drops. I'll tell you what, with some of these strong oils, you might want to just check it with 1, stir it, check it, and make sure you like it because you never know. And 3 drops of lime. That came out fast because that's a thin oil. Now I'm going to use my glass stir rod, stir it up. Now typically I would be checking after each drop to make sure I like it because I might have not wanted to add that much FENNEL to it. And you know, obviously this is not the best way to smell it. When you're smelling all of this at one time, it's going to be very overwhelming and very powerful because once we add the carrier oil, it is going to definitely dilute it. This is going to be about a 3% dilution in a 10 ml bottle. So that's 3 drops of essential oil to 100 drops of carrier. Now what I would be doing in the store is I would be adding this to my perfume strip here, and I would actually let it dry down, put it on the table here like this, and just let it dry down for about 30 seconds, check it, because you know what, it's going to smell totally different because the first pass under our, you know, we're waving this under our nostrils and we're just checking the fragrance. Now our nose is gathering all that information, all the molecules, smelling it, and then we might let it dry down for about 30 seconds to a minute and check it again because you know what, it smells a little different. It's more softer, more mellow, and then we'll check it again in a few more minutes. So that's the way we're going to do it. But let's just go ahead and get our bottle. I'm going to use a pipette to get the oils out, or you can just try to scoop it in this way. Hear my office cat in the background there, whimpering. He's been suffering from PTSD lately because our other cat left us, so he's feeling lost now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the remaining space with the carrier. And this way, you know, we want to shake it up a little bit. I just want to check it again, make sure I like it, and put the cap on. Now we're going to be shaking this once a day for about 2 weeks, and we can keep checking it, make sure we like it. We might want to add a little more. So this one, it is a little more musky, and it does have that more of an outdoorsy smell to it, so I think a guy wouldn't mind using this oil. We're not really thinking about the therapeutic properties, but there certainly is therapeutic properties to this, even though we're calling it a perfume oil. They will be getting the benefits from the oil. So isn't that nice? Isn't that pretty? So All you gotta do is just tell them to roll on, use as needed, and that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and try one more. Actually, we'll do two more. This one is called Strong. Now this is going to be a woodsy, so I've got my stones here and here. I'm going to go ahead and see. Let's go ahead. We're going to use bergamot as our top note. For our middle note, we're going to do juniper. And I also want to use the fir balsam, or actually this one's Douglas fir. Okay, let me move this out of the way here. And for our base note, we're going to be using cedarwood. Okay, so let me put these away here for a second. Get a fresh bowl. Okay, so every time we use it, we don't want to recontaminate by using the same oil bowl with the oil in it or glass rods, so we use a clean one. All right, so let's go ahead and so this one we're going to be adding 2 drops of cedarwood. Okay, and that's really going to be giving it that woodsy smell. And 2 drops of our Douglas fir. So you can see this is really going to be more outdoorsy. And let's see, what else do we want to add? Or a juniper. Wow, I think this one's going to end up smelling like Christmas. This one, juniper berry, we're going to do 2 drops. And we're going to top it off with our bergamot. Again, typically we'd be using the base, middle, and top note. More top note than any others because it's the first one that dissipates and evaporates. So in this case, we're going to add 3. We might want to add more. We'll check it. So let's go ahead and stir it up and check it. Not too bad. I like it actually, sort of, it's very crisp, outdoorsy, very woodsy. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. Now we could use our funnel. That might make it a little easier than scooping it. If you feel like you're not getting it all and you want to get that last drop, you can always just add a little bit of carrier, swish it around, and just pour the rest of it in through that, and that way you'll get it all. Okay. And let's go ahead and top it off with our carrier. Now carrier oils are not an essential oil. These are fatty molecules that the body holds to the skin and it helps moisturize, but it's not going to be absorbed as the essential oils will. Now essential oils will get into the bloodstream, so that's why we want to be careful about our dilution, because we don't want to use too much and it is very concentrated, especially when we're using these woodsy oils like the cedarwood, Douglas fir, and the juniper berry. These are not the oils that you want to apply to the skin directly, so make sure I got this top in good. Okay, wow, this is pretty cool. I sort of like this. I really think this is a great one for a man who wants to go and have that real, you know, strong urban smell. And so I'm going to go ahead and put my label on. And this is a nice gift for someone. These are easy for make and takes too. It's a great idea. So there you go. This one is our Strong. All right, so let's do one more. And this one is going to have some of the same notes that we had in another one. This one is called Urban. And we're going to be using our sandalwood as our base note in this one. Bergamot as our top note. That's a favorite for a lot of the perfumes. And then we're going to be also adding frankincense in, okay? So let's go ahead and start with our 4 drops of sandalwood. If we can get it out, there we go. I know it's impossible to measure when you're doing it this way. If you're going to be making perfume and you really want to be precise, you're going to need to use a dropper and even scales to weigh it. You don't want to just plop it in because the weight of the drops will be different. Obviously, a bergamot is thinner than sandalwood, so the drops for sandalwood are going to be heavier and there's fewer in a bottle. All right, so let's go ahead and add our 2 drops of frankincense. Now, frankincense is a base note too, even though it is a thinner oil, not quite as heavy as the sandalwood, but yet the scent lasts up to, I think it's 36 to 72 hours in the body, which is pretty amazing. So if you've ever used it, you know that that scent of sandalwood or frankincense lingers quite a long time. In our top note, we're going to go ahead and add in our 4 drops. And let's stir this up and see how we like it. Okay. It's definitely different. And it would be to your preference whether you want to spice it up, maybe add a little black pepper to it or something to give it a little more spice. This is very mellow, so I'm going to go ahead and add this into the bottle here. Now again, to get that true fragrance, we should use strips, and we can test it and make sure we like it before we commit to a lot of oil. Before, you know, we don't want to waste a lot. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and just squirt a little bit in here because I want to get that, get those final drops in. I feel like a little bit is left over in here because the sandalwood is pretty thick. So I'm going to just go ahead and get that. All right. Let's go ahead and add in. That is so pretty, isn't it? The color looks beautiful. All right, let's plop our little ball in, and you can get these at Amazon. I'll share a link below for you guys. But the color is a little different. See how the bergamot changes it. So you might want to think about that. If you're going to be using clear bottles, you may want to think about how the color is going to turn out and what it's going to look like. You know, you can use dark bottles, obviously. I just chose the color because I had the stones, and I'm using a nice transparent label here. All right, and so we have our urban. Isn't that pretty? And all of these would be great for guys because they're very masculine, I think. This one is nice. Again, this has got a lot of base note in it, so I think a guy would really like this. So there you go. There's your 3 blends. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments or want to share your favorite recipe, leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.